This is the knitting news from Knit Hppens Teesside for the 44th week of 2024. My name's Annie, and the other night at knitting there were 3 of us. Helen has been very busy making little puff flowers to sew onto her lap blanket, and it's looking better the busier it is, if you know what I mean. It looks really good. She's also been sorting through. She's sorted through a whole stash, I think, and found that the shoe boxes are very good storage because you've got a limited amount that you can put in and it's not too deep and you can see through the sides, and they've even got a hole in one end where you could draw some thread out some yarn out if you wanted to, and they stack. So she's been busy organising stash, and also the other night she was looking through her wee county yarns for colours to put together for Fair Isle or Colourwork gifts for Christmas. She's also making her green, cream and purple crochet blanket. I think she needs some more deep purple. I think she knows what she's looking for, but I think it needs to match. So that's what's happening with Helen. Jill has made the front or the back of her tunic that she was making last week, and the hem is like about so deep, and it's a lace pattern and it's knit sideways, I think. So then she has to go along and pick up, using short rows, 90 something stitches, and she was very happy by the end of the evening because she got the exact right amount of stitches. So that section will probably be done the next time I see her. I have very, very, very nearly finished this little baby cardigan. It crosses over, so it should be very toasty for January. Just needs buttons, and there's a couple of little bits that need finishing sewing up on that one. I started one of my strawberry knits. There's no nappy shaping or anything. I don't know if it's to be, it's really just for a photo shoot. It's not actually to be worn. So this goes underneath baby's arms, like there. And then that's one leg, and I just need to do the rib on the other side and cast that off. So that's made with, because I'm making a range of red strawberry themed items for kind of a newborn baby shoot, most likely. I need the reds to kind of match, or as close as I can get to matching. So this is Stylecraft Special, because this pattern's a chunky pattern, but I have some patterns that are double knit and I have some patterns that are four ply. So it's the Stylecraft Special. I started it and I wasn't too sure, and I probably shouldn't have caught in the stitches because, and these aren't, I mean, my tension is usually real good, but they're not exactly the same. Some pop out more than others. I don't know if that will block out. Also, I should probably not have wrapped the stitches behind, like caught the yarn in behind, because I think there's little bumps. I don't know if you can see that. There's little bumps where I've caught the yarn in. But yeah, see, it's not really for wearing, but if it's for a photo shoot, you want it to be right, don't you? So I'll finish it off. And, well, everybody will be looking at baby, won't they? So I'll just have to see how that goes. But I should be able to get a really similar red in 4-ply and in double knit. Oh yes, the strawberry thing. I'll do some editing now, won't I? The strawberry pattern is, see, Melody's Makings. So I should have the right glasses on. Which is this. So it's a little baby romper suit. And Jill found that pattern for me. So that was good of her, wasn't it? For this yarn, I went to one of my local wool shops. I've actually got two that are a 5-minute drive away. But I don't really have much need for wool or yarn because I have purchased more previously in the past than I have knitted. But red is not a colour that I really buy. So I did have to go and get some red. One of the yarn shops has been around for over 75 years now. And the other one is the one that I went in the other day, which is Kraftwork Yarns. So, and then when I was in there and I'd bought my yarn, I realised I should have been doing some filming and photographs to show to you. So that's what I've done. That was that. Skip. Yes. I think. That's nice. Going. Alpaca hairs. So the lady in Kraftwork Yarns was very helpful, and they're a very well stocked shop. They also do a loyalty scheme where if you spend over £5 you get a stamp, and then you need so many and then you get £5 to spend in the shop. And they have got quite a good range of everything really, yarn and the accessories, as you can see from their photographs. So that was a nice little trip out. And then what's happened after that? Yesterday I went to the Durham Guild of Spinners, Weavers and Dyers. I had been on knit night the night before and I don't think I'd had enough sleep. So I did do some spinning, but I wasn't feeling like I was really enjoying myself particularly. So I took myself off. One of them said there was a display of banners, miners' banners at Durham Cathedral. So where the guild is, it's only a short 5-minute walk across to the cathedral, which I didn't know. I could have gone all the way down the hill and all the way up another one if I hadn't thought about it. So it was a little walk across the road, across a bridge, where the rowers were doing the training, and up a hill past a sculptor's house, and I was almost there. That's the cathedral. Just thought you'd like to see these buildings. And she leaves. So this is a different approach to Durham Cathedral from the spinning class, which wasn't very far away. I don't think I've ever walked this way before. I knew there'd be a quicker way. So last time I was standing down there. Georgian building. And here we have it. Looks like they've got a permanent Christmas tree. The banners in the cathedral were very good, and they were placed in areas where I could just walk in and access. But what they've done with the cathedral is kind of put ropes up everywhere and sort of cordoned people to shuffle around in one direction with a suggested donation to go any further. So that was all right because I got to see the banners. So I took all these pictures for you. And then I was standing next to this banner and thought, what's that woman got on a t-shirt? And I thought, oh, she looks like she's into women's rights. So I found out a little bit more about that. And this banner is the women's banner because they had helped. I mean, some of the ones on the banner, there is a lady from a munitions factory where there was it 17,000 or 14,000? 17,000, I think. Women from the northeast area worked at this factory that was kind of secret because of what it was. And some of them were injured and some actually did die because it was such a dangerous work. And my husband's mum worked there when she was young. She used to catch a train straight directly there, and that's not something you can do these days. There's no train line goes that way now. You have to make different connections and things. So that was really interesting. And then there's modern women on it. There's I'll put the information on because I can't remember it all off the top of my head. But I did read about them. There's a nurse from the wartime. I don't know if it was First World War, Second World War. I can't remember now. And there was also women who ran kitchens who helped the miners when it was the miners' strike and helped them make meals and get meals together for people and support them because when they were striking, it was really hard times. That was under Margaret Thatcher, and I do remember it happening. But I didn't live in this area when it did happen. So that's kind of like all a history rabbit hole that if you haven't been down, you could have a look. But if I put the information on, there's quite a few different women from different areas of being heroines. They don't use that word anymore, do they? But I do. Right then, when I was at the Guild, there's a little table. There's a lady that used to have a wool shop in Durham. And she's closed that shop now. But she keeps bringing things in. And I keep looking at the table and I keep resisting. I've done really quite well because I've seen some lovely skeins of, one-off skeins of hand-dyed, beautiful coloured yarn. But I actually already own quite a lot of singular skeins of beautifully coloured hand-dyed yarn. So I couldn't resist this though, because it's 2. And it looks like there's quite a lot on them. Because they look around a DK 4-ply. I'll have to see how it works out, but I'm quite sure I'll be able to do something with them. And there is... I've got my driving glasses on because they don't reflect as much light. Oh look, I can see myself a bit better as well. That's 120 grams and this one's 145. So that's 265. Have I got that right? And it is hand spun. Merino and Angelina, which is the sparkle. And I don't think it's showing on there, but the sparkle is actually different colours. There's some red in it, or like orangey. I'm not sure it's actually catching the light. Anyway, maybe Zweig, because I do like Zweig. I would really like to make another one. So I purchased this on the off chance that I have another skein of something spectacular that will look okay with it and will work around the yoke. but I do like green. It's like a bluey green, isn't it? Compared to what I'm wearing. What I am wearing is oak. This is my thickest jumper. It's oak by GIlpin, and it's made with 2 strands of lamb's wool, which is our own yarn, work together, and it looks very complicated. And I have shown you before. I did show you before. So this is inspired by, hang on, have some coffee. Now they're less reflective. So it's by GIlpin. This is inspired by a gold Roman cuff or collar that was dug out of the ground somewhere. And the kind of antler pattern is inspired by when she was walking her dog one day. She caught a glimpse of a stag as she came up through a woodland. And it was just a beautiful moment. So hence the stag. And here we have I-cord. Can you see that? I-cords. So it all looks very complicated. And you probably can't knit and natter while you're making it. And it's a big graph that you have to follow. But you do get to know what you're doing on the sides of the detail. And it is quite straightforward and not quite as difficult as it might look. And very warm. And with it being lamb's wool, it's not like the Icelandic wool. It's very soft. So it's thick, warm, but very soft. And in winter, if it's really cold, you can get a little... the words failing me, aren't they? You can put a little shortlet or something in there to keep your neck warm, because it does stand off a little bit, but that's how it's supposed to be. I have finished my Tunisian crochet jumper. I have just looked all over for it and not found it. It is here somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure where. I'll look in the car boot because I had it on yesterday. It might be in there. Yeah, that might be where it is. I didn't tell you about Fee, did I? Fee is still in France, but she has been sending pictures of her UFOs. It doesn't look like too many to me. I don't know if Fee thinks that she's got too many or if there's some more somewhere, but I think she's assessing what to finish and what not to finish, maybe, or what to finish next. And she's also been making a storage bag, a concertinaed storage bag for circular needles. Isn't that genius? Actually, it looks quite complicated, but I hadn't thought of making something like that, really. I have always wondered what was the best way of storing circular needles, if anybody's got any ideas. Mine are in like a little dinky, like a shopping bag, but a little dinky one. I think they're downstairs. But actually, they don't all fit in there. And they're still in the packets and they're all like slotted in. But I still have to have a really good rummage when I want to find the right size. I don't know if they'd all fit in this bag, or if it'd fasten, if I made one. Not quite sure about that. And the colour's lovely. She made a really good job of it. And she's going to do some more stitching, I think she said, hand stitching on it. I haven't told you about the pets for quite a while. Well, the dogs are just the same, but Millie's not been very well. and she's feeling a bit sorry for herself, but she has had a walk around the garden and a drink out of the pond. She has got an appointment already lined up, but she's just not. I'm not going to wait that long. So fingers crossed Millie's okay. And I will tell you if she's not, because I mean she's already like, she's 19 in January, so if we just do our best, that's all we can do, isn't it? But be realistic. A balance. It's a bit sad, isn't it? Right then. Sorry about that. I might have some footage of her, and I probably should have had a look at what footage I do have before I got started to remind me what I need to tell you about. Anyway, I think that's it. So more news, maybe next week.